Come on, let's not do this right now. Let's make sure this is live. Make sure. Let's see. All right, public, perfect. Let's see. Who do we have on a live stream this evening?
You don't want the drums? No, I want them later. Oh, right. So you want me to close it up, right?
Eat your sandwich, dude. Let mommy have her food.
I was just confused if she leave it.
What up, Quentin? How'd everything go? And we have liftoff. There are a couple folks here on the live stream. Glad you could join us. Make it. KB, what up? What up? How you doing this evening? You know, taste lesson number 2. Had a baseball game. Literally got in the house 6 minutes before the live stream started. Blind Man Cooking, how you doing this evening? So I'm eating a snowball. Can you check on the cat, please? Yeah. Go get your sister. Go get your sister.
Sit.
Name? I didn't. I said your sister. Dave, how are you doing this evening? KB, Quentin, what's up, everyone? Who else do we have on the live stream? Who else do we have?
You know, Mom, you're fine. It's a cat. You know the cat should be.
How's everybody doing this evening? What's going up? What's going on? I'll say up. What's going on? Memorial Day weekend. Folks cooking this weekend? You cooking or what? What you cooking? Quentin. So, Quentin, what happened, man? Tell me. I'm like pins and needles waiting to hear from you. People at the job want to hire me to cook for them this summer. I said, no chance. But I know a guy. It went excellent. Everyone raved about it. People that didn't like pulled pork called it their favorite. That's what's up, man. And that's what I find is when people have like home cooked pulled pork or like a small batch pulled pork. It's really good, and it doesn't compare to like pulled pork that you get in the store in like a big box container. I'm eating a snowball, which is shaved ice with syrup over top. Hog. He's got his. Is that Irish whiskey?
Is this mine?
Yeah, I think so. Let me. Does it say? It should say rye. Honey, smoked honey.
Mayo marble rye.
Yeah, all right. But I think, is it Glenlivet? That's Irish whiskey. Quentin said, I said the effort was worth the reward of seeing everyone at the office truly liking and getting the seconds and thirds, but damn, that Tuesday morning was stressful as hell. Yeah, it is a thing. I want to say that goes away, but it really doesn't. It really doesn't. D-Dub says, hey, yo, Dash, long time no see. What's up, man? How you doing? Chachi says, hey, yo, what up, Chachi? How you doing this evening? Glad to see you. I would say I'm eating my dinner, but this is kind of my dessert. Shaved ice. They call them snowballs here in Baltimore. And this one is a tasty top because I had some ice cream on the top and down in the bottom. I was going to ask if the stress goes away after you cook for so long. No. I don't get as stressed, but the pressure of getting things done on time and within a time frame does still happen. But I'm not stressed per se. I just know what I'm dealing with, and it's more like that deep sigh. I have a lot to do in a short amount of time, and I don't have time to just kind of slack. Basically, I have to keep on time and make sure that things happen in a specific or at a specific timetable. Quentin says so much time and effort, and for people not to like it, or it gets dry for some reason and turn out bad when you deliver it or the timing's off. Man, it's crazy. There are a lot of moving pieces when it comes to barbecue, especially doing barbecue for other people. The thing is this: if you can narrow down the variables, and when I say narrow down the variables, if you get to a point where you consistently do the same things. So all right, so I'm talking to Quentin, but I'm going to ask all of you guys to just kind of bear with me, and we can kind of talk about this for a moment. But if you haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. There are 10 of you guys who are here on the live stream, and I have 1 thumbs up. I don't even have more than 1 thumbs up. So if you could please hit me with the thumbs up, I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to open up the live stream myself because I didn't have it going, but I'd greatly appreciate it. All right, so let me mute that. And I have 2 thumbs up, and one of them is mine, my own. All right, so Quentin cooked for his office yesterday. And Quentin is not normally, I won't say known for, but he does not typically do long cooks. Quentin is Mr. Tri-Tip. So Quentin is asking me for the bigger cooks. You got the fam helping. You list out tasks and check them off as you go. No, I used to do it almost all myself. There are times when I might get one of the taste testers to help me, and usually, I'm gonna say usually, but more often than not, or every now and again, taste tester number 2 will be around, and I might say, hey, can you run this out to the garage? Or hey, can you take this into the house from the garage? But for the most part, it's me. I do it all. Fortunate as it may be, or unfortunate as it may be. D-Dub says everything's good. Had an unexpected life-changing situation that caused me to start working and taking my part-time barbecue business full-time. So just been out trying to get my hustle on. Nice. Tom! Holy cow. What up, Tom? How you doing? He's checking in from the land of grills. Good to see you, Tom. I'm trying to finish my snowball here. I'm sorry. Steven is here. Now we got folks rolling in. He says, hey, yo, Dash and family. Good evening. And the second thumbs up is mine. Nice. No, it wasn't. It was mine. I synced it. Bumpy says, what are we collaborating? What up, Dash and everyone? So, I'm talking about collaborations because Marcus asked me earlier. He's like, hey, what are you going to talk about tonight? I'm like, I have no idea. I said, the F if I know is what I told him exactly. I said, the hell if I know. So he said, why don't you talk about collaborations? I'm like, go on. And he's like, talk about like the collaboration that he did with, and I think it was Heritage Barbecue, where he did some of the things that he does and they sold it there, and folks were able to kind of get some of his food there at the other place, and the guy took some of Marcus's food and zhuzhed it up a little bit, I guess. And they that was their collaboration. And I told him, I said, I don't really, or I haven't really done any collaborations like that before, where I'm like, hey, I'm going to do this specific thing for this specific, organization, or this other entity that cooks, or other restaurants, or other, food service spot. And I thought back about it, and I said, well, technically, there was one event where I had a girl reach out to me. She did catering, but she does like savory meals or savory catering type things. And she's like, hey, I have this thing going on in the park. These folks are asking for pulled pork, and she's gotten food from me, and I've gotten food from her, just like to eat, like on a string. So she's like, hey, I'm reaching out to you to see if you can, sell me some pulled pork. And I was like, sure. So I sold her, my pulled pork, and I don't know whether or not she was like, hey, this came from, somebody else, the guy still doing smokers, or she just was like, here's your pulled pork. I don't know, but that was the only collaboration I've pretty much done to that extent. Oh, somebody drop a five piece up in here. Hojo, Chachi. Let's see, Steven is here. Bumpy. Sean, what's up? Al, what up? What up? Al, I popped on your live stream yesterday or the day before, real quick. I was in bed, and I was like, man, I can't say hi, because if I say hi, then I'm gonna be compelled to like stay there for a little while. But I couldn't like stay on long. But I did leave a like, and go from there. Oh man, Tom, it was you. Thank you, sir. I do appreciate it. Salute. Actually, I guess when we used to do the hot seat, when you dropped, they had a dollar amount that you had to drop, but each time you dropped that dollar amount, it was a shot. I'm not taking a shot of this unless you guys you drop $20 into the live stream, then I'll take a shot. But other than that, I'm gonna be pouring into my cup in momentarily. Like I said, I had to finish my snowball first. My snowball's done. So in case you don't know, snowballs are a Baltimore thing. It's basically like a Hawaiian shaved ice, or shaved ice and like a syrup over top. Let's see here. Bumpy says, how do you pay for help, especially if you don't have a lot of money? You charge the person who you are doing the event for services, period. If the event is big enough that you need help, you bill them for that. I know for sure Marcus and Jamie, whenever they have events and they're serving each of the servers, they're billing for each of the servers, or each of the wait staff, if you will. When I did that event at the school, my kids' previous school or past school, I billed them for my hourly rate for the time that the servers were going to be there, but I didn't pay the servers that same amount. So basically, I broke even with paying my one friend Roger, who was here to help me out the day before and the day of, and the 4 servers, including Roger, to help me on that day of the event. The billable hours, or what I billed them for the time that all 4 of them were there on site, not even including myself, was enough to cover what I paid the three folks who were helping me, and pay Roger. Hojo, what up? What up? D-Dub said, I collaborate with my daughter occasionally, who has her own catering business. Nice. Quentin says, Bumpy, you can ask for volunteers, pay them with food. Honestly, hell, a few weeks when I settled into my new place, I want to come watch Dash and learn how he does it. People will help to learn. Yeah, well, definitely. So, Al says he appreciates it. Yes, like I said, I was telling Al that I hopped on this live stream the other day, and I didn't get a chance to say hi, but I did, leave a like, and I was there for literally 3 or 5 minutes. Chachi said, has anyone heard from Grumpus? I hope he was okay. I have not heard from Grumpus. But I will reach out and send him an email. Actually, can someone remind me to send Grumpus an email before we're done? Quiz is also bumpy. Let me know as well. I love to come help to learn, man. This cook I just did told me I have a lot to learn. Yeah. Bumpy says I'm vending, and they're not charging me a vending fee. It's for a fight party at a lounge. All right, well, it's hard because you know you need help, but like in the beginning when my cousin will tell you that she came and helped me out and I didn't pay her. My wife, when she helps me every now and again at certain events, I don't pay her, but you know she gets to eat. Same thing. So that's exactly what Bumpy was saying, or what Quentin was saying, that, or excuse me, what Quentin was saying, that people will work for food. And then it's like, all right, just put a little plate off to the side for you. Before we're done, and you take something home, you can eat a little later, because basically that's you know shoot, that is what it is. Not Grumpus. Steven says we call snowball snow cone here on the island. The snow cone is different. Bumpy. Okay, Q is Father's Day Saturday. Nice. Blind Man says what happened to Grumpus? So Blind Man, Grumpus is in Houston, and there was big storms in Houston, and I believe Chachi is probably wondering if Grumpus may have lost power, because we haven't seen Grumpus in a couple days. Quentin, Chachi, I told Dash I would never say mean things in his chat again, so you are not trash. You are a wonderful human, and I wish you all the best. That's because you know what happens when people, you know that saying, like, walk a mile in a man's shoes, and then you'll understand. That's what happened to Quentin. I won't say he was humbled, but this one cook taught him he has a lot to learn, and it's not as easy as folks portray it to be on the internet. Let's put it that way. It's not as easy as folks portray it to be on YouTube. It's more than meets the eye, for sure. Especially, and I give Quentin kudos, because he cooked four pork shoulders on a big green egg. I mean, nah, not at all. Allison, hit that thumbs up, guys. We're at 9. Let's get it up there. Yes, please. I'm looking at 13. Chachi says, yeah, right. Lie again. D-Dub says, my mom helps me. I don't pay her, but she eats her weight in Highlands. And I take her to the casino and pay for her to play bingo. Nice. That's what's up. So, I mean, as long as there's a lot of people who would be willing to work for food, and as long as you can find someone who will put in the work for the food that they're consuming, then I'm all for it. But there are some people that are just like sitting in the corner, and they just gonna eat and eat and eat and eat and eat, and it's like, literally, yo, you sir are eating into my profits. Like, you can't. This cannot go on. This cannot. No, this is not the way we're doing things. But then again, like I said, my cousin, shout out to my cousin. She was the first person to, and mind you, she was the first person to really go out and help me, because my wife couldn't come and help me on different things, because when I started doing this, and mind you, I've been at this for 10 years. So just let's put this into perspective. My kids were very, very young. Taste tester number 3 is 12. Yeah, 12. Taste tester number 2 is 16, and taste tester number 1 is 18. So 8, 6, and 2. My wife was unable to go to the events with me, so my cousin helped me at my first 2 or 3 events, and I mean, invaluable assistance, because I'm like talking to people and helping to do different things, and she is let's see here. All right, so we're just under the 3 cup line. I'm gonna take it down to 2. Ooh, buddy. We're at the 2-cup line. We're gonna pour in some energy drink, and we're gonna get to talking. Let me see. There's some comments. Yes, Angie, for sure. I had a company call me yesterday for a quote to feed 50 people. Hopefully, I get it. Those are I won't say those are the best ones. That's like a sweet spot for me, Chachi. I like 50, 80 people, 80-person events, because it's like, and I was telling Quentin. So, again, Quentin, I've been talking to Quentin about his cook. So Quentin cooked his pork shoulder at his sister's house. His sister is about 20 minutes away from my house. Well, my house is on the way to where he had to deliver the food. So when he told me that he was going to be cooking, I said, hey man, if you need to borrow the Cambros to take the food that you're cooking to your coworkers, come through, stop, pick up a Cambro. So that's the first time Quentin had been to my house, and he got the abbreviated tour. I want to say I showed him everything, but it was literally, he was here for all of about 15 minutes, and I helped him repackage or repan his pulled pork, because the pan that he had the pulled pork in was bigger than a full-size catering pan. It was like an extra large roast pan, which is not the same size as a catering pan, and that pan would not fit into the Cambro. That being said, I took him down to the garages where I had some pans, and I transferred the food from the pan that he had it in into 2 full-size catering pans and spread it out a little bit, so that he could take it to his coworkers. So Quentin said, Chachi, I just fed 45. Maybe the odds, may the odds forever be in your favor. What could you? Brisket, chicken, and sausage. Dumb question, but what would you charge for 50 people? So it's kind of hard. I charge by the what they get. I'm not the type of person that charges per head per se. I much rather give you the value model and say, all right, for 50 people, I'm going to recommend about 65 pounds of food. So I usually round it down to 60, but the real number is like 62 and a half, right? But I round it down to 60, and I say, all right, as a place to start, I would recommend 20 pounds of brisket, 20 pounds of pork, and 20 pounds of chicken. That's just base. Boom. And at the current rates, I'm charging $14 for chicken per pound, $18 for brisket for pulled pork per pound, and $25 per brisket per pound. So you can do that math, and then it's more or less what that person can afford. Can that person afford 20 pounds of brisket, or are they going to say, hey, can I get 10 pounds of brisket, 15 pounds of pork, and 15 pounds of chicken? Or they might be like, hey, can I get 20 pounds or 30 pounds of chicken, 10 pounds of brisket, and 20 pounds of pork. The whole thing is so they can have more of what's less expensive. And then I will say, hey, would you like to add? I can bring you some barbecue sauce, charging for that. I can bring you some potato salad. I can bring you some coleslaw. I can bring you some macaroni salad. And each one of those things is an add-on that I'm charging for. Hey, do you need plates? Do you need napkins? Do you need utensils? I can take care of all of those things for you, and I'm making money off of those things more so than I am 100% what it is that I am more than 100% of what I am cooking as far as the smoked meats. Quentin says Dash's cookers are no joke, y'all. The videos don't do them any justice. When he says I was humbled, just wow. Much respect to y'all barbecue catering folks, man. That's what's up. DD said, bro, you getting old, or is it style? Definitely a little bit of both. So charge by the pound per protein. I see, that makes sense. And that's the more economical way to do it, because I can tailor what I'm cooking more to someone's budget. And that, in my opinion, has gotten me more sales than just saying, oh, if you're having 50 people, I'm going to charge you $14 or $18 per person times 50. And then that person they don't understand the value on what they're getting. But when I break it down and say, brisket is going to cost you this much, pulled pork is going to cost you this much, chicken is going to cost you this much, people can quantify each of those things, and they say, all right, well, let's figure out how to take our $1,500 budget and spend it. Because what ends up happening is they will say, okay, like if you're doing a corporate event, right? Your corporate event, they might say, all right, we have 100 people, but our 100 people, we have a budget of $14 per person. All right, cool. You got $1,400. Bam, right? Let's figure out what we can get you, or what I can get you, so that I can maximize and take all of your $1,400. That's the way that works. As opposed to me saying, oh, it's gonna cost you $18 per person. Because then that just knocks them out of the water and knocks you out of the water. And that's just how I've found, one, it's easier for me to be able to sell the food. Two, most people who are doing catered events, I can say, like I had someone today, literally today, this guy called me and he said, hey, you catered an event for X, Y, and Z person. I need to get 2 pans of ribs. You don't understand what 2 pans of ribs is. And I'm like, how many people are you trying to serve? He's like, well, the person has RSVPs for about 60 people. And I'm like, all right. So 2 pans of ribs. I'm like, you're looking at no less than 4 racks of ribs. And, you might do better by getting 6 racks of ribs. But I said, I can sell you 6 racks of ribs, but you might not need 6 racks of ribs because you have other food that's going to be there. So I said, basically, how about, we kind of split it in the middle, and I said, all right, I can do 4 racks of ribs for you, and, I'll split them between the 2 different pans, and, bingo bango, that's pretty much it. He's like, oh, that works, that sounds good, perfect. Well, the ribs are $30 a rack. Really, I could sell him more, or, upsell him, but that's not what I'm trying to do. I'd much rather sell the food at what I'm making a profit and what'll make people come back than overprice everything, and then I'm not selling anything. Neil, what up? He says hello, and hello to all my barbecue friends. Neil, how you doing this evening? Hopefully everything is well there with you. I'm sure it probably isn't summer there yet. You're still probably wearing long johns. Ribs go quick at events though. Oh, I know. And so what I won't say what I will do. Usually, if I know that the person is doing an event for like a catering event, I will actually slice the ribs up for someone. If I took some ribs. So, how many of you guys are following me on Instagram? Just comment I or I am, like I for Instagram or IG. Just comment something down below so I know you're following me on Instagram. And if you're not following me on Instagram, you should be. Just Steel Drum Smokers. Taste Tester number 2 says he is following me on Instagram, and he is. He's not telling a lie. But the point I'm trying to make is, the other day randomly I was like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna cook some ribs. So I got up, I had some ribs, and I cooked 4 racks of ribs, and 3 of the racks, I was like, all right, I'm gonna sell these racks. So cool. So Taste Tester number 2 said he's following me. Chachi is following me. Quentin raises his hand. Quentin, well, Taste Tester number 2, you see Quentin's message there. Yeah. Eduardo says he's following me. Thank you. Blind Man says, well, I know he's probably trying to say I am. Steven says it's a balance to keep your customers coming back and also making profit. That's exactly it, Steven. I'm telling you, I could, you could bend people over and you could take them for whatever, that they're willing to pay. Or you can meet people kind of in the middle and have them be repeat customers. Chacha says, but you cook baby backs, right? Yes, I do baby backs. So I'm cooking baby back ribs. And I told you why I'm cooking baby backs. Baby backs fit better on the drums than spares did. I'm able to cook 6 racks of baby backs at one time versus 2 slabs of spares. And I don't do St. Louis spares, or I'm not even talking about St. Louis spares. D-Dub says, I do. Thanks for following me on Instagram, man. I appreciate it. Is it Farnell? Let's see. Dalo? Dalo, probably. Dalo Farnell says, yup. I guess he agrees with Steven. It's a balance. So, and that's the way that I've always done my business. I try to be fair. Listen, I have to make some money, but I want to be fair to you, the customer. I'm not trying to bend you over, like I said, and take you for everything that you're worth, because I want you to come back. I want you to buy again from me. And I want to say, so I had anyway, I started talking about, you don't like St. Louis spares. No, I like baby backs. I'm gonna say my bread and butter is baby backs, but I started cooking baby backs. I cut my teeth on baby backs. I can whip up some baby backs in my sleep, and I can cook spares, and I could cook, St. Louis spares. They're just not my favorite ribs. I prefer baby backs. There's less fat on the baby backs. They're meatier. They're more expensive for a reason. To me, I feel like they're a little better quality. Quentin says, so look, I'm going to bring a trailer and drop off the Cambros and pick up the egg Saturday. No, sir. No, you will not. I wouldn't say I would like to see you try to get it off my porch, but it is chained down. Bumpy says, I typically tell people that's 2 to 3 bones person, so you divide that between how many guests. So that's the thing, Bumpy. I do the same, and I usually err on the caution of 3, sometimes 4. But I tell people all the time, when I am doing an event, I do not recommend ribs or chicken wings for that specific reason, because there's always going to be that one person, and I keep trying to circle back to this. On Monday, I cooked ribs. I cooked 4 racks of ribs just randomly. I was like, oh, you know what? I'm in the rib cooking mood. I had some ribs. I cooked them. I was like, all right, you know what? So I cooked 4 racks of ribs, and I did them just on the trigger. And when they were done, it was like, all right, my work day was done. I was done cooking the ribs. I'm like, hey, I have ribs available for immediate delivery. And I got crickets. And that's fine. I didn't prepare anybody. I didn't anything. It was random that I cooked these ribs, and it was random. I sprung them on someone or sprung them on folks. But there was someone who reached out to me back in February. I was actually on the cruise in February, and this young lady reached out to me. So I hit her up and I said, hey, I know you asked about ribs, a few months ago. I randomly did some ribs today. This has basically been the first time that I've done ribs that they're not earmarked for anybody. Would you like some? I said, I have 3 racks available, just to let you know, but they're $30 a piece. She's like, give me all 3 of them. I'm like, damn. All right. That makes it easy for me. And I'm like, all right, well, where do you live? She told me where she is. I was like, all right, the delivery's going to be $7 or $8. I think it was $8. She's like, all right, cool. How do you want me to pay you? I'm like, see, I like people like you. This is why I like people like you. And she tagged me on Facebook. And it's funny when I see people who I haven't seen or dealt with food related in a long while, because Baltimore is a very big, small city. Okay. And I'm gonna say that again. Baltimore is a very big, small city. What up, Laura? How you doing? In that she posted, hey, I got some food, or she posted whatever she posted, and there were people, I'm gonna say, who came out the woodwork, but there were people who were like, oh my god, he did this X, Y, and Z for me. Oh my god, he did X, Y, and Z for me. And people have nothing but nice things to say, and they're like, I didn't know you still did barbecue. Like, I never stopped. It's just I'm not selling food out of the trunk of my car any longer. I'm doing catering. If you want something, you have to let me know. And that's been what's been a little bit harder for me to convey that message. A lot of the food that I used to sell was just that. It's like, hey, I have ribs available. I have pulled pork available. I have chicken available. I have brisket available. Who wants what? And then people would hit me up like, hey, you know, I want this, I want that, I want this, but I'm not doing that any longer, so it's a little bit more difficult. But let's see. Da, 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 da. Chachi says I can fit 30 slabs in my smoker. Now, are you laying them down or are you standing them up, Chachi? I'll tell you. Da, da, da. Wait, I'll tell you what though. I'll come over and cook some tri-tip on that thing for the family next month. We're gonna see. Blind Man says, any tips on how to cook multiple racks of ribs on a 22-inch kettle? Cut them in half, Blind Man, and you'll be able to change the orientation. A 22-inch kettle, and you said a 22-inch kettle, multiple racks of ribs on a 22-inch kettle. So they have, or there are, rib racks, and they stand up the ribs vertically. You might be able to get away with putting some rib racks in your Weber kettle. You might, if you're going to have like your fire or your charcoal on one side of the grill, like a hot side, and then the other half or 3/4 of your grill be like a cold side, you might be able to layer or stack your ribs, like stagger them, and you'll have to move them around so that each of them are going to be getting heat equally. But on a Weber kettle, it's going to be kind of difficult. The only other thing I would say that you could probably do is use a rib rack and cut your ribs in half. So you might be able to do 2 racks of baby backs, 3 the absolute most, and stand them up in those halves on the colder side of the Weber kettle. I would more or less recommend a Weber Smoky Mountain, but Marcus sent me a picture today where the Weber Smoky Mountain, wherever he was, it was $450 on sale for $420. That Weber Smoky Mountains were never that expensive. They were like $250, $300. Weber done lost their mind. Steven says, Dad, for regular customers, do you sometimes throw in something extra occasionally depending on the price you pay for goods? Yes and no. So there are times, or there have been times, when I'll get someone, they order 2 racks of ribs, and when I go to Restaurant Depot, they come in a pack of 3. And those ribs will be smaller than normal. The normal ribs are like 2 pounds a piece for a 13 bone average. Sometimes they're 12, they're a little shorter. Sometimes they're 14. So that's why I err on the side of 13 bone is the average. But there are times when you get a 1.75 pound. It could be 1.75 pound and down, or 1.75 pound and up pack of ribs. And when I've gotten those smaller racks of ribs, I'm like, hey, I know you paid for 2 racks. I'm going to give you 3 because these ribs are tiny. That is about it. Every now and again, I might give someone an extra wing or 2, but I try to keep what I purchase to what I'm giving people because of 2 things. One, I have a family I need to feed, so anything extra I leave here or I keep here and my family gets to eat. And 2, I'm literally losing money by not, my margins are not that great. I'm not, like I said, I'm not bending people over. Quentin, Steven says, Quentin, thanks. I do come up with a good question once in a blue moon. Yeah. I guess so. Quentin said, good question, Steven. Laying them down. Bumpy said, I've done a stacking method. Yep. So again, the whole thing is you got to remember that whatever that outside edge or whatever that leading edge that's getting cooked it's going to get cooked. So you got to rotate them around and flip them around. So it ends up becoming a little more work. But if you're willing to do it, get it done. I know, Laura. I know. Eduardo says I can hang 18 ribs in my Weber Smoky Mountain. So, speaking of hanging ribs, um, I have a hunt. I think it's called like a Hunt Sacker rib rack or something like that. I bought it. I don't know how long ago. Never used it. Still sitting in a box and it's sitting on the other side of my dining room here. And I've never used it, and because I have no need to hang ribs. That's just not my particular way of wanting to cook ribs. You get Victor on here and he'll tell you that hanging ribs is the way to do it. And that's his favorite way to do it, or that's his preferred way to do it. Me, I have the space where I can lay my ribs out, and I'm not cooking 20 some odd racks of ribs at a time. Therefore, I don't have the same need to hang ribs. Now, things might change, and I'm like, all right, you know what? I'm gonna do a dozen ribs at a time. I can use that rib rack thing and hang a rack of ribs, and use my the number one drum, and I could probably cook a dozen rack of ribs in one cook, and dollar cost average, that would be fantastic. Okay, and boom, they'd be done. Still room, but 18 and spacing the cook is good. Nice. He says your name and immediately yawns. I know. Blind man says he's gonna try to stacking them. Yeah. And I'll say, mind you, I'm trying to think like what can. I'm talking about layering them. Like you lay one down and you lay one like halfway on top of the next, and you put the next one halfway on top of that one, and then you let them go for half an hour, 45 minutes, and you rotate them. Take the one that's on the bottom and move it to the top, and the one that's on the middle, and you move it to the back, and then you keep rotating them. And then also not only just rotate them, but flip them so that the leading edge, or the edge that's at the top, is not always at the top. It's down at the bottom, so that rib hopefully can cook evenly. Like I said, it's just going to be more work. Eduardo's is not my favorite, but room and equipment, it works. But for sure, I have to rotate. I have a Hunsacker Vortex in my Weber Smoky Mountain. Nice. I've never heard of the Hunsacker Vortex, but I do have a Vortex. What is that thing called? I want to say it's gimmicky, but it's cool. But I haven't used it in a while. I just haven't used it. Like I just haven't cooked on the Weber Smoky or on the kettle. Laura says C, but I have also stacked in the Weber Smoky Mountain with like 5 racks. Yeah, sounds like some spider. Oh, Weber, yeah. We're supposed to be talking about collaborations. So don't get on me if we didn't talk about collaborations, but we did kind of a little. I don't have very much experience collaborating with folks, and that's just because I haven't collaborated with a lot of different folks. I tend to not. I want to say I tend to not, but like I guess you could say I've collaborated the person I've collaborated most with has been Marcus. Honestly enough, I've been to Texas and helped him cook twice. The first time I helped him cook, and that was a big event, and he reached out to me and he's like, "Man, I need some help. I need some help." And I was like, "All right, cool. I'm on my way." And it worked out because, and I said it in the videos when I was down in Texas. Again, I was down in Texas I'll say the first time, but I helped Marcus it was 2022. And as much as I helped him, I got to see different things, or things differently from a different perspective. And it was a learning lesson for me as well. So I learned a lot while I was down there. Every time I read a comment from Laura, thanks. Bumpy said I put one bone side down, take the second rack bone side up, and lay it right on top. Rotate as needed, 250 degrees or lower. I'm gonna say the opposite. I would bump the heat up to 275 because you're gonna be rotating those ribs a little more. And you got to remember that only that first rack is going to be getting the majority of the heat. The other ones are going to be like carryover or indirect. So I would say to help the cooking process along, bump that heat up a little bit. But maybe that's just me. Calix said, been following you for a bit, but first time catching you live. Currently wondering how I jumped from selling plates to doing small events and getting fully licensed. So Calix is going to be one of these things where the right event will happen for you. If enough people have your food and they like your food, someone is going to approach you and say, hey, I need you to come and cook for me for X, Y, and Z. It'll happen. That's how it happens, or that's how it happened. Or you can go out and start soliciting or mention in your however you're selling plates or whenever you're selling plates, you just talk to people and say, hey, would you need me or did you know I'm available to cater a small event for you? You don't just have to buy plates on a Thursday or plates on a Friday or plates on a Sunday. I can come and cook for you and your guests as well. Just let them know, hey, you have a graduation party, hey, you have a wedding reception, a rehearsal dinner, a divorce party, a kid's birthday party, you name the event, and you tell them that you're available to cook for it, and people will be like, oh, really? What? I didn't know you did that. You do that? And then you have to be prepared to tell people what it is that it's going to cost them. So, just, fair warning. Spider hunk, I guess spider's a hunk sack or vortex, okay. Thanks for all the info you put out, Calix says. Eduardo says collabs are good and hard at the same time. Indeed. I'm not going to read that, Laura. Dave said I cooked a rack on the weekend and I asked him for... I cooked a rack on the weekend and I cooked them at $275. I was just wondering how to cook more for a crowd. I am a fellow with a big appetite. Well, I mean... there's nothing wrong with, I won't say experimenting, but you got to remember that at the end of the day, when you are cooking ribs, you just have to keep in mind that your heat source can't be on whatever it is you're cooking for too long, especially if you're going to be bumping up the temperature. So that's going to mean, hey, I'm taking the lid off every 30 minutes to 45 minutes, and I'm going to be moving those ribs around, rotating those ribs. I do the same thing on my Traeger. I know the Traeger is convection, so it's blowing hot air around in the ribs. In the cooker. So I'm going to spray those ribs a lot more because with the ribs, the way they were oriented on the cooker, I didn't have room to leave my water pans, the small water pans I have that I leave in the cooker. I didn't have room in there. So I sprayed them often and I moved them. Every hour, I was taking the rib that was in the front and I put it all the way to the back. Actually, I'm sorry. I took the rib that was in the front and I moved it forward. The rib that was all the way in the back, I moved it. I pulled it all the way towards me. So the rib that was in the middle went to the outside and the rib that was in the front went to the middle. And I just kept doing that rotation. I think I did that 3, maybe 4 times. And then 2 of the times I was out there, I also rotated the ribs 180 degrees as well to make sure that the leading edge was the leading edge and then the trailing edge as well. Mr. Silverbart, what up? What up? Bumpy says, I guess I'm speaking from an acorn green egg POV because I'm opening the hood more than normal. I don't want my fire to jump up soon. By the end, I'm near 300 degrees. Yeah. Does Kent live in Iowa? Yes, he does. Kent lives in Le Maires. Yep, Le Maires. and I'm hoping I'm saying that correctly. Lamar's. Ooh, Lamar's, Iowa. Why are you going to Iowa? So, Bumpy asks, how do you let your trigger warm up if you are grilling? What's the max heat on your trigger? That trigger barely gets to 400 degrees. Barely. Barely gets to 400 degrees. I want to say I know better, but like if I am grilling, the only thing I really grill on my trigger is every now and again I will grill some kibasi or smoked sausage or hot sausage. That is it. I do not like, you can't grill hot dogs and hamburgers on that thing, for real, for real. It just doesn't. It When I have made burgers on the trigger, they turn out more like smoked meatloaf, because it's just they're being smoked more or less, but smoked at a higher temperature. I know that might not make sense to some, but they're not. It's not the same. Non-writer said, "Put your glasses on, old man." I can't. My glasses are more for distance, and by the time I put my glasses on, I mean, it's blurry. Like, this is too close of a distance for me to read the screen. So I'm gonna do that. Am I gonna see you tomorrow, Roger? I'm trying to figure out how I can make it to the funeral. My manager is out. His wife is in the hospital, and I've been, I don't say delegated, but I've kind of been tasked with picking up extra things while he's out. Laura said there were a lot of tornadoes there. Chachi says, I live in Hawaii. Liar. Dash, what do you cook the most for your family? Taste tester number 2. He must have gone upstairs. Ribs probably, but it depends, because it kind of ebbs and flows. I mean, I won't say spaghetti, but I fry chicken. Like, frying chicken, so non-barbecue related, frying chicken is one of the things that whenever I fry chicken, they're all like, "Ooh, daddy fried chicken." But I try not to fry chicken as much. But I mean, it's a toss-up, because I know that if I'm doing the same things over and over, they're not going to want to eat it. So, like, I did ribs earlier this week, and I mean, they turned out fantastic. But my family has gotten to the point where they don't want and or slash need barbecue sauce on the ribs that I make for them. And there's nothing wrong with that. I mean, I don't say as a rule, but for the most part, I sauce my ribs, but I'm not drowning my ribs in sauce. Like, they're not dripping off. The ribs are not dripping in sauce. So there's that. But I kind of like try to rotate the things that I cook for them, because again, if I cook one thing too much, they're like, again, and I'm like, oh my god, do you know how much I could, like, how much money I'm not making by cooking this and giving it to you guys. So again, randomly on Monday I got some ribs, or like I said, I had ribs and then I cooked them. But I had 4 racks of ribs. I could have sold 4 racks of ribs, but I didn't sell 4 racks of ribs. I sold 3. And I let my family eat one of the rack of ribs. So literally cutting into my profits. You would be see me local? Do you have a video on doing burger and hot dogs in trigger? I do. I do. Let's see here. Channel, search your channel. Hot dogs. Let's see. Hot dogs and burgers. Burgers and hot dogs on the trigger. Oh. Oh wow. So this is a blind reaction to an old video. I don't even remember doing that. But let's see, hot dogs. vlogs. Let's find the original video. Show all. Come on. Gosh, my internet is moving slow. Dogs. Golly, what the heck? Alright, so let's go back to this one. This one that says blind reaction. And I rewatched the old video, but it doesn't link to the old video. So, Bumpy, you were going to get the newer video because I can't find the older video. I don't remember what it was, but I talked about, in the older video, I talked about how the Traeger does not get up to, like, grilling temperatures. It's just like a high smoke temperature. Silver Bart said, personally, I try to make my Q in such a way that the family doesn't ask for sauce. The sauce comes out if smoked too long and the meats have dried out, mainly chicken breasts. And that's the thing, right? You know, I really dislike when people are like, if you put sauce on your food, you can't cook. No, that's not the case. I like ketchup on French fries. That doesn't make it so that the person who made the French fries can't cook. I just so happen to like ketchup on French fries. That's how I grew up eating my French fries with ketchup. And I can count on one hand how many different things I put ketchup on. Like, there are people who can't eat eggs unless they put ketchup on them. That's not for me. But growing up in Philadelphia, where barbecue wings were chicken wings cooked in the oven, covered in barbecue sauce, that's what I'm gonna say. That's what I hold near and dear to me. But that was what barbecue was when I grew up, because I didn't grow up in the South. I didn't grow up in Texas where they had smokers and grills and stuff like that. Like, my first, and I talk about it often, my aunt used to smoke chicken at, in her backyard, which was next door to my house. That was my first experience with barbecue, like barbecue. Other than that, it was grilling. Yo, I am not ashamed to tell you that my parents, my mom, my folks would parboil chicken and then put it on the grill and put barbecue sauce on it and call it barbecue. That was barbecue wings. So me putting barbecue sauce on something is a condiment, not a crutch, not a you can't cook, you have no flavor to your ribs, that's why you put barbecue sauce on it. Damn that. No. Just because it's different doesn't mean it's wrong. And I hate people who poo-poo on other people's stuff, other people's cooking. Now, mind you, I'll poo-poo on someone's cooking method, and or if you, like, I'm not going to poo-poo on something that is not warranted. Let's put it that way. There are people out there who are cooking stuff that is just nasty. Like, you cooking ribs. Oh, I'm going to spend all day cooking ribs, and then the first thing I'm going to do is squeeze the ribs. Squeeze all the juices you spent all day trying to preserve out. Why would you do that? Why? That doesn't make sense. Nice. Neil says, well, I got some good news. I have enough subscribers to go live. 50. Just don't know what I have to do, and to do that. I use my phone to go live just because I can slow down the comments. Captain Newbie, what up, Russ? Bumpy says, peace, everyone. 215 comes fast. Thanks for the video. Dash, no worries. Chachi says, yeah, hot ketchup. That's gross. Quentin says, night, Bumpy. Silver Bart says, LOL. I can't wait now to try sauce on French fries. That'll be fun. To your point, I'm in Texas and I grew up with no sauce, but others did. Dude, I mean, just because someone does something differently from how you do it doesn't make it wrong. And I'm going to say it again for those in the back who are like, sleep. Just because someone does something differently than the way you do it doesn't make it wrong. Man, I wish I had $1 for every time my mom said to me when I was a kid, There's more than one way to skin a cat. Like, wow. There's more than one way to skin a cat. Like, damn. That didn't make sense to me until I was an adult. And I'm like, oh, you got 6? Oh, you got half a dozen? Neither one of you are wrong. That's the same thing. As long as you are getting the same result and people are like, damn, that's good. That food tastes good. Or how much does this cost? How much can I pay you to cook this for me again? Then why does it matter? As long as you come to the same result, it doesn't matter. If you are doing a math problem and you do long division versus short division and you get the right answer, the correct answer, I don't care how you did it. That's the point I'm trying to make. And you gonna poo-poo with me because I'm like, you're like, oh, I'm like, oh, I have 6. You're like, no, that's wrong. You need to have half a dozen. How many is half a dozen? How much is a dozen? Oh, a dozen is 12. So how much is half a dozen? Half a dozen? No. How much is 12? How much is a dozen? 12. But how much is half a dozen? Half a dozen. Well, if the number of a dozen is 12, then half of that number is, and you want to dance around the answer being 6. That's what I'm saying. That rubs me so. I'm gonna step off my soapbox. Laura says, if you do dash, can you go to her room? Bumpy says he will poo-poo on grilled ribs. Now that I will, because that just makes them tough. There we go. Thank you very much, Steven. So yeah, Neil says I agree. I do it the way you want to do it and make yourself happy. Yes, indeed. Adrenaline Turkey Call. What up, Travis? He says, hey guys and gals, just popping in to say hello. Appreciate you. Chachi says cold ketchup all day. Ain't no way. Dude, ketchup belongs in the cupboard. Ah, man. Nobody want no damn cold ketchup. Blind Man says, I gotta bounce. Got an early flight in the morning. Have a great rest of the week, everyone. Hey, where are you traveling to, Dave? And be safe, man. I like my fried eggs with crispy edges. Guess I'm strange. No, nothing wrong with that, Steven. But are your fried eggs over hard or are they like over easy? Because then we might have a problem. I need my eggs fried over hard. Like, bust the yolk. I can't eat a runny egg, but I will eat a rare steak. Russ said philosophical. Every now and again, every now and again, man. Every now and again. Medium, Steven. I can't eat runny eggs, man. I can't. I just can't eat runny eggs. Even when somebody hard boils egg and you ever had a poached egg and people are like, oh my god, the poached egg, you put it on your Benedict or whatever, your whatever, and then you bust into it and it runs, and I'm just like, I can't do it. I can't do it. That is not the way for me. I go someplace and I'm like, I need X, Y, and Z poached egg. I need that egg poached hard. Like, I want a hard boiled poached egg. Like, and if I'm getting eggs, usually I like my eggs fried over hard. I can't do a runny yolk. I just can't. It just doesn't sit well with me. Oh man, Neil says he likes his eggs over easy and his bacon soft. OMG, dripping toast and the yolk. No, Laura, no. Listen, I am not one to yuck someone else's yum, but that is just not the way for me. Oh, you guys have heard me say it before. Don't yuck someone else's yum. That's I can't do it. So when I was out to see Marcus and I hung out with Marcus the first time, so in 2022, bruh made me runny eggs and rice. I ate it because I was a guest and he prepared it for me, but I didn't eat it again. Nope. I tried it. I tried it once. That was enough. I tried it once. Heading to Ottawa. Well, have a safe travels, man. Laura says, slurp it up, yum. There's no yum with that. Russ says yum too. Hell yeah. I'm trying not to portray the yuck on my face because I don't like yucking someone else's yum. If that's how you like it, more power to you, but that's just not my... Chachi says, hell yeah, Laura did that shit. I'm the same way. Running yolk is to dip your toast in too. No. Mojo, please give me some backup and say you don't like runny eggs. That's... Mojo, I will promote you to admin if you don't like runny eggs. You tell me right now you don't like runny eggs and admin. I need some support here. And then he comes and says, good evening. No. I need... I can't do runny eggs. Laura says I do it with PB on my toast with eggs. What? You dip your runny... You dip peanut butter on toast into runny eggs? Laura, that's just a whole nother level. A whole nother level. Yo, I'm all about... Listen, let me show you how all about peanut butter I am. I had peanut butter and crackers earlier. And it's got to be Peter Pan honey roasted creamy. Yo, honey roasted peanut butter. Wow. Talk about... Bart says, I like them snotty. I need my eggs scrambled or omelet. Zero runniness for both. I knew I liked Quentin for some reason. I knew I liked him. But I don't know. I've outgrown scrambled eggs. I am over hard. That's what I need my eggs to be cooked, over hard. But dude, like, bro, I am hungry. I feel like I'm about to dig in the freezer for some hot sausage and put them out on the Traeger. Mojo, I just read it. Mojo, no admin for you. No admin for you, Mojo. He said, dude, I love runny eggs. And two, Brute. I feel like I just been stabbed. Mojo. Rose says the white has to be cooked for me. Mojo says the best with toast. No, it's not. Yo, you know what'll make me cry? You serve me runny eggs. Like, break down in tears. Like, I can't do it, man. I can't eat that. Like, bruh, it's just not. I mean, I'm not gonna be like snotting and sniveling, but I just can't do it. I cannot eat runny eggs. Medium is runny. The yolk is not set. The yolk is two different colors. If the yolk is two different colors, yo, no. The yolk has to be completely opaque. Like hard boiled, opaque. It can't be like that dark yellow. No, I don't like it. Quentin says, wait, I can't say mean things. You can't say mean things to Chachi. Quentin says, y'all nasty AF, uncooked as chicken, period. Hell no. See, but that's it. I don't like raw eggs or undercooked eggs because of the risk of salmonella. But I will eat a raw steak because the whole thing is the bacteria is on the outer edges of the steak. If the outer edges of the steak are cooked, you're good. Golden, Gucci. Where's Chef Orel when you need him to drop a what's Gucci on everyone? Silver Bar said, try cashew butter. No thanks. I'm not a big nut fan. Like, I'm really not a big nut fan. I can stand cashews and I like peanut butter. But that's about it. Like peanuts, I'll go to Five Guys and take a bag of peanuts home and destroy them. But cashews, that's pretty much the only nut I consume on I won't say regular basis, but the only nut that I will consume. Almonds, if I had to. Walnuts, again, if it's mixed into some carrot cake, that's about it. Brazil nuts, macadamias, white chocolate macadamia nut. Again, it's got to be mixed into something else that just makes it delicious. But just like eating some mixed nuts, no thanks. Not my jam at all. Laura says, I even have a cheese drag my cheese through the peanut butter and toast. What? No. Laura, that is just... Oof. Everyone should love eggs the way I like them. I support everyone's egg decision. All right. Neil's funny. He replied with some sunny side up eggs. Then again, sliced onions thin, eat with peanut butter. What? What? Eating thinly sliced onions with peanut butter? Wow. Travis says, do you get called often for last minute cooking for a large group? I just got asked to cook 100 people this Saturday. Not real happy with short notice. It's Wednesday. I tell people that I need 48 hours notice. I want to say I don't care, but I don't have anything planned for Saturday. And if somebody calls me tomorrow and says, hey, I need such and such X, Y, Z thing, I'm going to get it done. I'm going to get that money. That's how I feel about it. I'm like, oh, you want me to do blah, blah, blah. If it doesn't affect anything else I have going on, why not make the money? Because if I'm not making the money, I'm spending money. And I'd much rather make money than spend it. I mean, that's the honest truth, man. I hope your eggs run like Usain Bolt. That is... Wow. Peter Pan peanut butter is the real deal. I mean, I am a Jif guy. Like for real, Jif is where it's at. But Peter Pan has this roasted... Man. I found this roasted peanut butter, honey roasted peanut butter. It has been my jam. Like, I will search far and wide for these jars. When we go to my mother-in-law's house in Florida, I usually bring back 2 big jars of this peanut butter because the local market to me does not sell this. I have to get this from a dollar store and pay too much for it rather. But it's so good. Like I had some earlier today with some Ritz crackers. Man. The whole pack of Ritz crackers and peanut butter was my lunch today. Do you have Kraft peanut butter? Not really. Kraft more for barbecue sauce or sauces. Maybe some macaroni and cheese. Or cheese blocks and cheese singles. Kraft's cheese singles, but not for peanut butter. Dipping toast and runny eggs is A1. Oh. White cooked dip the toast. No. Bart says for regular peanut butter, Reese's peanut butter is great. But that's got a whole bunch of extra sugar in it. I mean, that's more like candy. Laura said hard boiled like rubber ball. No. Neil says you should try duck eggs over easy. I'd have to find duck eggs. Steven says I grew up on Skippy. I couldn't tell you, but I really think I grew up on Jif. But like as an adult, I want to say it didn't matter. I used to buy whatever was on sale. Oh, Skippy's on sale, Jif is on sale, whatever I got the best deal out of. But then again, I usually buy my peanut butter from Sam's, and Sam's I believe sells Jif. So this is a big old tub. I even ate nut cheese. Chachi says, here's the real questions. What's better, creamy or crunchy peanut butter? I'm gonna say creamy. Creamy. Taste tester number 2. Is he asleep out there? Give me a second, guys. Hold on, I'll be right back. Yo. Go to bed. You sleep. Go to bed. Wrap this up or whatever and go to bed. Take your headphones off, turn them off, charge them, and go to bed. We've had a long conversations. I thought I heard him, but I didn't hear him. So I thought he went upstairs, but he's asleep. There was something I wanted to do when I got up. I can't remember what it was. Oh, I said that I was going to look for some hot sausage. Are you finished with that food there? All right, Cadbury. I can't hear you.
Can I have a shoe to throw in?
Yep, I'll take care of it. Good night. Trash in the morning. Digging in my freezer here to try to find some hot sausage. Give me a moment, please. Doesn't seem like I found any. Yeah, randomly wanted hot sausage, but I wanted some hot sausage. I was gonna take them outside and cook them, but nope, not tonight, not for me. Laura says a Canadian thing to put peanut butter on stuff, or I guess onions with the peanut butter. Most definitely, probably. Try it before you knock the onions. No. I'm not knocking it. I just said that sounds different. Again, Laura, I'm not one to yuck someone else's yum. I try not to. There are some times where I'm just like, that is not for me. But for the most part, I am poker face when it comes to people explaining different things that they enjoy to eat. Eggs Benedicts. Oh my god, so good. You should try Cheese Whiz with mustard on toast. Cheese Whiz with mustard. I mean, I kinda can see it, cause I might go up the street and get a hot dog from 7-Eleven, like, soon. And I'll put the nacho cheese and mustard and maybe some relish on the hot dog and some onions. So I could see how that goes all together, but okay. Cheese Whiz with strawberry jam is awesome. Cheese Whiz and strawberry jam? Now y'all just making stuff up, like, for real. Now, I'm more of a grape jam person. You know, it's funny. I did something for my wife. I was reviewing a legal document for my wife, right? We're trying to help her review the document, and I'm like, hey, how do I turn this into basic English and not legalese? And then I did a search and I went down a rabbit hole, and I found out that GPT will take a document and turn it from legalese to regular English. after I did what I needed to do with it, I'm like, Chat GPT, write me a script to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for YouTube, and it did a pretty fantastic job making a script and outline for me to follow to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Like I said, I've told you guys before, I've been threatening to make a peanut butter and jelly sandwich for a while and post it to my channel because I feel like I make a pretty mean PB&J. I got some bread. I ate the last of my bread yesterday. Laura says SMH, he's yawning when he read my message. Yeah. Russ says Skippy. How? I do not understand how it is that almost every time I read a message from Laura, it makes me yawn. It makes me yawn. Like, I'm like Pavlov's dog. You ever contact with Kent? I hope they are. Oh, do you have contact with Kent? I don't have a number for Kent. I remember my dad eating orange marmalade with cottage cheese on toast. How gross. I mean, cottage cheese. You lost me at cottage cheese. We had a tornado warning. Man, I was crazy. Major wind, hail, rain, still in thunderstorm warning watch. Cottage cheese on toast is amazing. Laura, I bet you like beets too, don't you? You like beets? Yeah, just go ahead on. Scrambled for breakfast and runny sunny side up for dinner? What? Roger, how did I not know that you did not know how to make eggs? Laura says, no, it's not very good. 7-Eleven hot dog, yo, man. Still on severe thunderstorm watch. The reason why I said the soul lived in England for a while, so I know all about that. Yo, the one I won't say takeaway, but the one thing while I was in England, now mind you, I was only in England for I think 4 days, maybe 5. Sticky toffee pudding is not pudding. 1. And 2, mushy peas. Oh, I do not understand why they go berserk over mushy peas. They are, in fact, mushy peas. Like, the peas that I eat and enjoy, they call them garden peas. But they enjoy mushy peas, and they are literally mushy peas that are underseasoned, or that were underseasoned. Maybe it's gotten better in the. I was there in the UK in 2018, 2019. Mushy peas. Laura says, Dash don't love me anymore. Nah, I don't love you anymore. It's not that I don't love you anymore, but I don't love you any less, Laura. See, liking cottage cheese is right up there with liking beets. It's not my thing. D-Dub says, yuck my yum. I bet you don't drink buttermilk. I learned to love growing up in Mississippi with my grandfather. He would pour it over warm cornbread with sugar. He called it po' man cereal. Now, but see, the combination of all of those things sounds fantastic. Buttermilk, sugar, cornbread, bruh. I'm with it because I'm thinking with here and not, well, I'm thinking here and not here. But that combination, I can see how that combination will pull together. Yo, I'm not even gonna lie. I had some cornbread over the weekend from an amusement park. My taste tester number 3 was playing in her with her concert band. Taste tester number 3 plays the clarinet, and her concert band performed at a high school in it's like Southern Virginia. And once they finished the performance part, they went to King's Dominion. King's Dominion, for those of you who do not know, is an amusement park similar to Six Flags. Most people have heard of Six Flags. There's multiple Six Flags amusement parks around the country. And King's Dominion is now going to be a part of Six Flags, or soon to be a part of Six Flags. But anyway, this cornbread from Six Flags, and not only the cornbread, they had brisket at a spot. There was it was called Firehouse Barbecue. When I say I was not mad at this brisket, usually I get mad and want to toss tables when I get brisket when I go out. This brisket was actually pretty damn good. And the cornbread, I could have smacked somebody up and down. It was so good. So you tell me that you're going to give me probably sweet cornbread with some buttermilk and some sugar? I can see it. I can see it. And I wouldn't be mad at it. Neil says, okay, all you running... I can't even read this with a straight face. All you runny yolk lovers, we'll talk to you later. Have yourselves a good night. Thank you very much, Neil. You too have a great evening and be easy. Laura says, yes, I love beets. Harvard pickled and beet juice made into grape jelly. No. I can't be the only one that thinks that beets taste like dirt. Again, comment below. Beets taste like dirt. Mojo says, have a great evening, everyone. What the hell does that mean? Laura, I don't love you. I don't love you any less. It's not that I don't love you more. I don't love you any less either. Listen to us like a bunch of old trolls arguing about how to cook like the dwarves. Yeah. D-Dub, I could work with that good combination. Yes, indeed. I agree. Quinn says, all right, man. Got a long day tomorrow. Take care. I thought you were taking off tomorrow. Or you got off tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Have a good rest of the week. Laura says, BRB. She's probably going to go get some. This is twice I've been betrayed by a longtime friend. I'm not even going to read his comment. But you know what it is? I'm telling you, it is a generational thing. It's got to be. It's got to be generational. Ain't no way. No way. Steven. Thank you, Steven. Thank you, Steven. Steven says, Dash, say it again. Beets, gross. Can't post this. You can't get past the smell of beets. They smell like dirt. Beets smell like dirt. And you know what else they smell? They taste like dirt. Roger said beets are great. I feel betrayed. Hello, darkness, my old friend. I seriously feel betrayed. Roger, I thought we were cooler than that. They're awesome. I use green tomatoes for raspberry jam. What? Only way I like green tomatoes is when they're fried. So fried green tomatoes, I'm with it. Steven says his grandmother loves beets. Exactly. Roger is old, so he could be a grandfather. He's old enough to be a grandfather. That kind of explains why he likes beets. D-Dub said, yep, Steven, since I moved my mom from Mississippi to SoCal to live with us, we'll always have leftover cornbread. I have partaked in the buttermilk cornbread with sugar quite a bit. Partaken. He said partaked. Partake in, yeah. D-Dub says I take the beet supplement to help my blood pressure, but I refuse to eat them. Yet again, I could not have told you how we would have gotten on this topic of beets and runny eggs. Like beets, runny eggs. Ooh. I'm trying not to yuck someone else's yum. I'm trying not to do it. But, oh my goodness. No, not for me. Not for me. Not for me at all. My goodness. I take beets. Oh, okay. I just make sure I'm. Oh my goodness. All right, I need to eat something. I had half a hoagie earlier, and I don't really want my other half a hoagie right now. I really want a hot sausage, but I don't have any more apparently. Bro, my grandmother puts beets into potato salad, turned everything pink. Oh man. All right, I'm getting ready to get up and go try to find some more hot sausage again. I'm going to look in my freezer again and just make sure they're not buried. So bear with me while I look for some hot sausage, and then I have to go outside and put them on the trigger. Should I cook them on the trigger or should I cook them on the stove? I'm going to boil them if I cook them on the stove. What say ye? Bumpy, what you say? I know you're watching it later. Big Man Smokehouse, what you say? Who else is watching later? I need y'all to comment and tell me how I need to cook these hot sausages. Russ says Traeger. It's Traeger. Trust me, I couldn't spell it in the beginning either. The only way I learned how to spell it was putting it in the title of my videos. Speaking of videos, I'm going to, I'll say let you in on a little secret. Let's go back here and to content. Excuse me. All right, I'm going to post the video for tomorrow. Actually, I need to make sure it's unlisted. It is. All right. D-Dub says, sorry, Dash. I do like over medium or over easy eggs. Love to sop up the yolk with sourdough toast with grape jelly on it. T Crunk says, stove, hit it quick. Non-writer says, I'm old. I grew up in a farm town. All right. Never knew that. You know, I won't say I've only really ever heard about your experiences once you came to the States, but I'm not taking anything away from that, man. It's just not my thing. Not my thing. D-Dub, LOL, there goes the soapbox again. Yo, I'm not gonna do it. Russ said I bought a sticker. LOL. Today or before? Dang it. I have to. Maybe before. All right. Give me a moment. I'm going to delve deeper into. I have a busboy pan in my freezer on the top shelf, and that's kind of where like the de facto spot for frozen meat goes or is. So I'm gonna see if I can find some hot sausage because I really want a hot sausage right now. Marlon, what up? What up? What up? Oh, Russ said yep today. All right, well, I'm gonna have to find your order and get it sent out to you. Excuse me. Definitely appreciate that, Russ. Give me a second though. I'm gonna look for the sausage. I'm gonna keep trying to talk to you guys because I'm just on the other side of the room here. This is where my cat go somewhere. Yogurt pops, no. Frozen steaks, no. I'm taking stuff out of the freezer because I'm hoping that the sausage, because I had them like separated into like a pack of two. Hopefully it just got knocked down or fell down to the bottom of the freezer here. I found some beef hot dogs. Don't want those. Those are don't on bagel. There's bacon for my wife. Lamb sausage for my wife. Spicy lamb sausage. Damn it. Lamb sausage. Sad dash. Putting everything back in the freezer now. Oh, there's some beef bacon, but that's not what I'm looking for. Putting things back in my freezer. Oh man, damn it. More hot dogs. What hot dogs? Really wanted hot sausage. Oh well. No hot sausage for me. And be like, Laura, eyes back. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, Jimmy is working. He sent me a text message earlier saying he was working and wouldn't be able to. It's so funny. When I came back, I literally was like, be like Laura, say eyes back. But wait, where's Jimmy? Must be working, I suppose. Yes, indeed he is. Like I said, he Blue, he's running from runny eggs. No, I am not. Or yawning off camera. I was not yawning off camera, but now that you said that, on cue. Thanks, Laura. Greatly appreciate it. Laura's superpower is making me yawn. I swear. I don't know how. Ah, man. Marcus says, aloha, everyone. Hey, Marcus. It's about to just woke up. I was going to ask you if you were out at dinner, but no. He said he just woke up. I was talking to Marcus earlier today, and, you know, I know how that goes. I try to take naps during the day, but it never works. Like today, I was like, I have a live stream tonight. I need to try to take a nap. Last night, I was up actually working my day job until after midnight. It was almost 12:30 by the time I got off the phone and the instant messenger Teams chat that we were on. I'm like, this is dumb. And then I got up early this morning. I had to put some things in my wife's van for her to take to work. And then I was sat down and it was 5:30. It was like 5:30. And I logged on and I'm like, damn it, there's stuff from last night. And I called one of the people who was on the call last night and who I was working with, and they didn't answer because they're on the West Coast. And I mean, it's just a debacle. Russ says, hey, don't forget to hit that like button and check out the merch. Hey, I appreciate you, man. I thought about which you said last week. I cannot drink 15 drinks today. Oh, shoot. You'd be surprised, man. 15 drinks is nothing. Nothing. Again, Marlon, you gotta start at breakfast. Start at breakfast. 1 or 2 mimosas at breakfast. You get 1 or 2 drinks like before lunch. 1 or 2 drinks at lunch. Yo, that's 6 drinks right there. 1 or 2 drinks after lunch. You're looking at 8. You get like 1 drink going into the dining room. You get 1 drink while you're at the dining room. Yo, that's 10. After dinner, or like an after dinner drink, boom, that's 11, maybe 12. You go have something after dinner, like an after dinner drink. All right, bet. You're looking at 12, 13. Go to the nightclub on a late night tip, boom, 15 drinks every single day. Now, mind you, usually it was like I didn't really have much to drink at breakfast because we were not always doing a sit-down breakfast. But what? Mimosa? Yes, please. Bloody Mary? Yes, please. 1 or 2 or both of those were going to be at my table for breakfast. If I went to the sit-down breakfast every day, then I'd get a drink, about 10, maybe 11 o'clock before lunch. That might be the drink for, now mind you, taste tester number 1 was 18 on our last cruise. He got a drink a time or two, and my wife got a drink a time or two. So, yeah, I didn't have to drink all of them, but 15 is easy. Russ says he's 10 days alcohol free. I'll drink to that. But yeah, definitely awesome news, Russ. Just to cleanse, calm down, everyone. Mama says, I never start drinking until after 7. See, there's your problem right there. Yo, I watched something on Instagram earlier today, and it was like, we can't be friends if you do not vacation, if your vacation drink day doesn't start at 7 a.m. I felt that one wholeheartedly. You are on vacation. Why are you not drinking? Why are you not drinking? You're on vacation. Drink it up. See, Marlon, that's the problem. 7 p.m.? For real? Like, wow, what's the point? I can't drink a drink until 7 p.m. Why? Did you know that beer used to be served at breakfast more than coffee? Until Prohibition? Look it up, Marlon. I'm dead serious. Listen, Steven, there have been times when I've had my 15 before the night is done, and the bartenders look at me crazy when I'm like, yeah, I need can I get a Sprite or a Sierra Mist or whatever, Starry, whatever it's called now. And I'm on a cruise ship, mind you. I had one bartender who knew me. Again, me being me. I'm personable, okay? Me being me. She's like, you don't want to drink? What are you, driving? And I'm like, I hit my 15 already. And she's like, no way. And she looked it up and she was like, it's 9 o'clock. It's 9 o'clock. I know. I told you I hit my 15. She's like, let me put something in this one for you. I'm like, bet. Thank you. Russ says, all inclusive. Hello. Cat is okay. Went on a video to the east of them. Oh, I guess he's saying it went to the east of where he is. All right. Well, that's good to know. I don't have a phone number for Cat. I need to get with him and get a phone number because situations like this would be nice. Let's see, it is 1:40 or an hour and 45 minutes into the stream. What up, Angela? Angela, I was talking about you in a good way earlier. Someone asked me, actually it was Bumpy, asked me, how do you pay for help when you can't afford to pay for help? And I was telling him when in the beginning, Angela helped me out doing different events, and I paid her via food, or I would cook different things for her. And I'm like, yo, mind you, this is 9 or 10 years ago when my kids were 8, 6, and 2. So my wife couldn't come out and actually help me out. But my wife has helped me out in a few events in the past, let's say, 3 or 4 years. My wife has been, I won't say primarily, but my wife has been helping me or has helped me, which is fantastic and greatly appreciated. Marlon says, I'm late because Marlon is already on. Yes, indeed. Yeah, he did. He talked about you to me this weekend. He did. He exact words. Go visit your cousin. Exact words. Y'all, it's a conspiracy. A conspiracy. I just so happen to be like, of course, I'm laying in bed and I'm like, oh, let me see what's on YouTube right now. And I see Marlon is live. And I said, oh, I'm going to go say hi to Marlon. And Marlon was like, oh, so you going to do me like I come into the live stream and now I'm about to go to bed, but here you are coming in bright eyed and bushy tailed and want to come talk to me while I'm getting ready to say bye. He said, I feel like me. Like this is a role reversal basically. And he chewed me out for a moment or so and then ended it by saying, go visit your cousin. Bruh, I wish I could. I'd be busy, man. Yo, this week alone, Monday night, I was delivering ribs. Tuesday night, I had an award ceremony at Taste Lesson Number 2 school. Wednesday night, I had a baseball game from Taste Lesson Number 2 16U Spring Travel Team. Spring Travel Team. They got mollywopped 22-1. Mollywopped 22-1. And the game started at 6 and wasn't done. I didn't get home until 8:40, like 8:50. I literally sat down with a few minutes to spare to get on this live stream. I haven't even eaten dinner. Tomorrow. What do I have to do tomorrow? Oh, mind you, last night, I went to the award ceremony. Now, mind you, Taste Lesson Number 2 he got 3 varsity letters yesterday. So proud of him. He lettered for baseball, for wrestling, and for soccer. So kudos, right? Three sports. But my wife went to a send-off for a girl that was in Taste Lesson Number 1's class when they were in elementary school. So we had to divide and conquer. Tomorrow, I want to say I don't know what I'm doing tomorrow, but at the end of the day, I'm sure I know I have something to do tomorrow afternoon. Anyway, Laura says Tuesday she was eating ribs. I'm going to visit them. I'm coming back from Perryville the day before the festivities, so I'm going to stay up there and have a nice little weekend. Oh, festivities for, oh yeah, that party. Okay. We're having a graduation party for Taste Testing Number 1. All right. You're welcome to stay here. Angela says, don't skirt by Taste Testing Number 2. Got an award, though, for, he didn't get an award. He was upset. He actually was upset. He didn't get MVP in any of the sports. Now, wrestling, it was his first year wrestling. He really I would say he was the under. He didn't get any awards for wrestling because, now mind you, he had a decent record, but he was not the top wrestler in his weight class. So, but it was his first year wrestling. Anyway, soccer, they did not do as well this year as they did last year, which is unfortunate, but I do believe they moved up in divisions, which is why they did worse this year because they weren't the dominant force in the division. Baseball, same exact thing. They did not do very well this year because they got moved up to like a D1 in Baltimore City versus the D2, which they were before. Not writer. Funeral. Yes. Oh, funeral's during the day. I'm trying to think of what I have to do tomorrow evening. Laura Steven says, congratulations, taste test number 2. Way to go, taste test number 1. He's graduating from high school. Mason Jar Barbecue. Tyler, this has been a long time, bud. Good to see you. Yes, indeed, man. Dude, where's my... I need some root beer moonshine, man. Dog. I mean, I had to get a connect. I got a guy, Tyler. Because you just abandoned me. Like, what did I do to deserve the abandonment that you have done? Last week I smoked an eye round real quick, then finished it in the oven for a nice slice of roast beef. Nice. That's what's up. Roast beef. I like it. I like it like that. So I posted a video in the chat, and I'm going to post it again because we are almost at the 2-hour mark. And without saying anything about it, if you watch it or when you watch it, you'll know. You know. I hear taste test number 1 blowing his nose upstairs. Sounds like a foghorn. Wow. I have half hoagie in the refrigerator that I didn't want to eat tonight because I wanted to save it for lunch tomorrow, but it seems like I'm going to be eating that because I can't find any hot sausage. Can someone remind me to get some more hot sausage tomorrow? Or not tomorrow? I'll say afterward, probably over the weekend. I have to drive tomorrow. Take a yawning class. When to and not to. I was trying to woosah the yawn away. Dinner is some pork chops with runny eggs. Funny guy. Funny guy, funny guy, funny guy. Oh, sorry, Johnny. I had to cover up your hat with an Eagles hat. I knew you wouldn't mind. Johnny's just that type of guy. He's like, oh, you're going to cover my hat with the Eagles hat? Go Birds. Summary. Johnny, so tonight, you know what's crazy? We started talking about collaborations and about how I really have never done much of a collaboration or much collaboration or collaborating. And then I said, wait a minute. The most collaborating I've done with someone has actually been Marcus, who was the catalyst for this particular live stream. And then we got to talking about, whatever. And then it landed on eggs. And how you like your eggs. How you like your eggs prepared. I am a over hard type person. Do not give me runny eggs. And we talked about runny eggs and scrambled runny eggs and eggs over medium. And we talked about eggs. Eggs. And beets. Because Laura likes beets, but beets taste like dirt. Dirt. My friend Roger, who I feel has betrayed me, also likes dirt beats. I mean, beats. But I said that I don't yuck someone else's yum. I'm just not a fan. There also was someone who mentioned I was talking about peanut butter because Laura said that she liked to put peanut butter on her toast and then run it into her runny eggs or stir it into her runny eggs, and I was flabbergasted. Flabbergasted. And then not only did she talk about the peanut butter on toast into runny eggs, she talked about sliced onion and peanut butter. I just, that was a lot. That was a lot. I have to get some more hot sauces. You're absolutely right. Johnny says hello, everyone. Jack says we can send you a text. Who is non-writer? Non-writer is my friend Roger. Roger has been in a few of the videos. Yeah, he's been in a few of the videos. But I've known Roger for almost as long as I've been living in Maryland. I don't like to do alcohol or channel collabs. I'm a loner. I agree, Johnny. My problem is my film schedule is like, what? I got 15, 20 minutes right now. Let me film something. And usually that doesn't work for other people. But I say all that to say, Johnny, if you would love to do a collaboration with me, let me know. Actually, I'm going to say but I do genuinely like you, Johnny. As I said, Johnny, summary, he still hasn't visited his cousin who lives in the same state. And that's not big as Texas. Oh my God, my kidneys. Oh, my kidneys. Runny eggies with toast dripping in the yolk. Don't make me say it. I don't want to yuck your yum. Beets are delicious when roasted. The golden ones are better. I can't believe I had to read that out loud. You need to wash the beets. They don't taste like they don't taste like dirt externally. They taste like dirt internally. Beets taste like dirt. Johnny says Peter Pan sucks. Jiffy all the way. Honey roast creamy. Have you had the honey roast creamy? I'll wait. But if you say no, I'm telling you, it's going to change your life. It is fantastic. Fantastic. So, I saw an Instagram reel today, and the dude was holding broccoli, and he was holding cauliflower, and he said, broccoli, Sicily. And the person holding the phone was like, wait, what? What did you call that one? He said, Sicily. He said, why do you call that Sicily? And again, he was holding cauliflower, right? He's like, broccoli. And he holds up the cauliflower. He's like, sis-colly. He's like, broccoli, Sicily. I laughed so hard. I mean, it's one of those, if you don't know any better, I mean, I'm not mad at it, if that's what you're going to call it. I've been in videos, I don't remember getting residual checks. Bruh, them residual checks are non-existent. I wish I could say, but YouTube ain't paying like what YouTube used to pay. Well, at least YouTube isn't paying me like what YouTube used to pay. Cauliflower steaks, portobello steaks, and cabbage steaks are delicious. Bertomigo, hi. What's up, man? He said pickle beets are yum. Mm. Did you spell cringe wrong? And beets and potato salad is awesome. Oh my God, Roger. No. Roger, your old man is showing. Gosh. You know how I know my friend Roger is getting close to 60? He proclaimed to like beets. Oh. Nope. You need to wash better and scrub them. No! The dirt taste is internal. A snack on. I know, right? I'm like, you like to snake on peanut butter. What? What? Don't we all take the peanut butter directly from the jar and put it on whatever it is we're gonna be using it on? Like, for real? Oh, maybe Roger thinks I'm squinting. I'm just the alcohol. No beets in the potato salad. Triple exclamation point. What else can't be in the potato salad, Angela? Steven says he's down with portobello mushrooms, especially if you stuff them. Laura's funny. She gonna use the yawn emoji. Dude, why is Laura my kryptonite when it comes to yawning? El Barrio, what up, man? ¿Qué pasó contigo? Laura says, I love roasted broccoli with either sliced almond or nutritional yeast. You know when I like broccoli? When it's not in the kitchen. Oh, what? You're cooking broccoli outside on the grill? Oh, that's so cool. It's not in the kitchen. It's not on the counter. Todd, she says, yo, let's collab on a whole cow leg. Bruh. Aside from the different muscles in the cow leg, they're not the same. Especially like the top portion and the bottom portion. They would cook differently. But I would love to, collab with you and sit at the cigar lounge and talk. I started, actually, I'm not going to say I started, but I am going to post a link and you can follow said link and see what it is I'm being secretive about. Laura, sorry, not Laura. Roger said no raisins. There we go. So it might not be me making him yawn. It's the white lightning. Oh yeah, definitely is that. Angela said no raisins in the potato salad. She put 4 exclamation points. Steven says, Laura, I bet you might like lecithin? What is that? Bert Amigo says, one time at a Thanksgiving potluck, I found the sliced beets were the cranberry sauce. I was disappointed. I would have fought that person that put the engine into the back of a Beetle. The picture is the Beetle about to like squat and take off. Them's fighting words. Roger said beef and broccoli. Yeah, Laura, it's a supplement supposed to be good for you. It is definitely supposed to be good for you, but In 10, 15 years, they're going to be like, oh, did you take this between the years of this and this? If you did, be on the lookout for a settlement card. Something like that. I would have to research it. Only Hellman's mayo. Now that I agree on. Only Hellman's. You can get power from tablets, I think. No. Well, now you probably could. Not before. We'll make it maybe glow. All right. So, feel like my job here, my work here is done. I'm going to go ahead and drop off. Thank you for those of you guys who hung out from the beginning to the end, and those of you guys who are doing roofing on the roof of my humble abode. I greatly appreciate you. I'm trying to think if there's any other housekeeping things. If you haven't already, please do subscribe, hit that like button, and definitely let me know what products in the description or in the description are ones you could care less about, and or what you will want to see in that description. So thanks. I do liquid drops instead of powder or pills. Laura says you can yawn in bed and kill the mood. Not a fan. All right, Angela says good night. Watch the video and hit the like button. Please and thank you. All right, we are over the 2-hour mark. In case you never knew or didn't know, I try and shoot for a 2-hour live stream when I am here and available to live stream. So thank you very much for hanging out. I greatly appreciate you all. Oh boy, 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 boy. Another day, another dollar. Laura says, dream of runny eggs and beets. No. Russ says, all right, guys, I'm going to hit it. Everyone be safe and happy holiday weekend. All right, so thank you guys so very much for popping back on just to say bye. I greatly appreciate it, and I'm sure the management does too. But I'm going to go ahead and end this, or at least end my portion of this. Let me see if I can make sure I end everything. Top chat. Oh, nothing. Hide that. All right. My eldest, just so happens to be the first chair. Is it first chair saxophone? So, we're gonna let them play, and boom. Just checking under the hood. All right. Oof. All right, guys. I'm gonna go ahead and call it. Oof. Like I said, we are over 2 hours, and that is an accomplishment, seeing as how I got 4, maybe 4.5 hours sleep tonight. So thank you guys so very much again, as always. I thank you guys so very much for watching, checking in, checking on the tabs, and like I said, watching the videos. Apparently, YouTube thinks it's a big deal to do that. I don't know why. Either way, thank you, thank you, thank you. I'm sure I'll bump into you either at the dealership or at Ryan's for some service. But either way, you will be taken care of. All right? Deuces. Thanks again, and I'm gone.